What's going on? This is Matt with Mint Media.
And I'm Jason.
You are watching Mint Condition, and today we're answering a very important question
Yes.
that we get all the time.
We're going to talk about what is possible for my business site with all the bells and whistles. Actually, I just wanted to take a little bit of your time to kind of, I guess, bring to the forefront that one of the most frequent questions that I tend to get is like, when I decide to get a business site and not build it myself, right? Because I didn't go to school for that.
Mm-hmm.
It can be pretty tedious to spend time to learn something like that. But if I decide to hire somebody and I know nothing about the field, what am I really getting, right? Like, I don't know how that translates to my business.
You're really getting at the forefront of it all peace of mind and the stress-free feeling that everything's going to be done properly.
Okay.
As a business owner, there's so much you have to focus on to run your business.
Okay.
You got sales, marketing, promoting, actually delivering on everything you do, or generating your products and so on, that the last thing you're worried about is your website.
Yeah.
Yet your website is the thing that brings people in. So you're actually taking your focus away from the thing that's going to help you grow. But then when you focus on it, you're stressed out the whole time, not knowing what you're doing. And you're also not going to be applying the right principles and the right techniques and strategies on the website that actually help you convert your prospects to actual customers. Your website has to have one goal, and that has to be, whatever that goal is, bringing them inside your store,
Sure.
getting them to call you, getting them to book, a meeting with your sales team,
Right.
maybe getting them to download something. Most business owners don't realize this. They just throw a site up and they're like, all right, I made it. They're going to come. So, and that's just not how it is. There's so many other things that, there's so many things you don't know that you don't know.
That's true.
And when you hire an elite web development company focused on conversion, well, we know all those things.
Yeah.
And so we can guide you. You could tell us everything that you want to accomplish with the site, and then we'll give you the direction because we're experts in that field. So we can help your site convert. We can help your visitors understand what you do and communicate it appropriately, and basically allow them, we call this the user journey. Their user journey through the site is very calculated. Mm-hmm. It's not like you're just guessing. We're not guessing. We know what works. We use data to back up what works, and we're always learning based off that data,
Right.
and applying that to our clients' websites.
What if I'm like a newer business owner? Maybe not brand new, right? I've been in business for a couple of years.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a pretty awesome thing.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah.
But I'm balancing my own books, and I take myself serious every day. Obviously, right? We all have goals that we want to achieve, and I'm making strides towards mine. But business, making money costs money, right? So how do I, for instance, justify the cost if I can go on Fiverr, Upwork, I can find a developer who's going to charge me anywhere from, I don't know, I think I've seen them for like $60 to $150 an hour.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Or I can hire an agency, which I get it. It's more than one developer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how do you know like what they're giving you is worth what you're paying for? Right? That's one of the bigger questions I get.
Yeah. Well, first of all, before we even jump into that, I want to quote the great Grant Cardone and say, scared money don't make money.
That's true.
It's all about mindset as a business owner. So if you're scared to spend some money on your business, then all your customers are going to be scared to spend money with you. You have to be willing to spend some money to make money.
Yeah.
So now to go back to your question, actually going back, this was the biggest change that we made in our business a few years ago. We were that scared money, we didn't grow because of that. And then we made that decision, you know what, let's go all in.
Okay.
And so we started spending money, and all of a sudden started making a ton of money.
Okay.
We started getting, clients in, signing up multiple times, buying multiple, website builds, platforms, going into mobile apps. We have our clients that are actually growing pretty consistently and in a major way. Now, the difference between finding a freelancer. Your question is really freelancer or agency. Right? So, a freelancer, they're great in certain circumstances.
Okay.
Now, you're basically paying an hourly rate for one brain. Who knows what that brain knows? Who knows what that person knows? They could be geniuses.
Yes.
But they could also just be good salesmen. Now, you're also only paying for one of them.
Yes.
With an agency, you get access to a collective 50 years of knowledge between all of our developers, and that's only growing as we hire more developers.
Yeah.
Also, you are ensured that the developers working on your project pass our standards. Now, when you hire a freelancer off Fiverr or Upwork or, whatever service there is, you have to be the one to do that due diligence. Now, do you as a business owner, do you know what to look for when you're vetting out developers? Can you speak their language?
Right, no.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a little bit here and there, but no, not really.
most business owners have no idea what developers do, and a lot of developers take that for granted. So they start throwing out confusing things just so that they appear to be really smart, and they probably are, but they might not be able to approach the business's project in the scope of the business's growth. Meaning, our only intention for our clients is growth, is conversion. We want our clients to grow because that means they're going to be generating more money so that they come back to us to grow even more, because businesses always need to be evolving and adding functionality.
Okay.
Now, going back to your question though, freelancer or agency. Yeah. So with an agency, you are getting our level of quality assurance in all of our developers. Nothing goes past our gates, delivered to the client until it passes our quality standards.
Okay.
A freelancer doesn't have that. They just have their own personal quality standards, right?
Yes.
And you don't know how to manage them. And so now you're forced to manage them. So now, you're not building your site, but you're managing the person building your site. And so that still adds stress. And one of our, big goals for our clients is to alleviate stress. And so with us, you're working with a product owner, which is someone who communicates things to you in a very fluid, understandable way. They know your goals. As a business owner, the product owner's goals, and they're very aligned. And because of that conversation, the product owner can then go to the developers and, actually do all the work and pass the quality assurance and whatnot when we deliver it. And the business owner is stoked, because they're just working with the product owner. They don't have to know what the developers are doing. They just know, oh man, I got this awesome thing delivered.
Right.
It does everything I wanted it to and so much more.
Right.
And I'm loving it. Now I get to move on to the next thing.
So essentially, the product owner speaks my language.
Exactly.
And how often do I get to speak to the product owner?
As often as you want.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we have people texting our product owners, emailing. We basically communicate in whatever structure that they enjoy. That's one of the first questions we ask when we sign someone on. How do you like to communicate?
Okay.
You could come into the office and talk to the product owners if you really wanted to.
Right.
Yeah. So you can call, text, email. Typically, it's at least once a week.
Okay. I want to tell you a little story, conversation that I had with a friend. And kind of get your thoughts on this and kind of your expertise behind it, because we've been doing this for how long again?
Oh, gosh. Let me do math really quick in my head. 14 years?
Okay. Yeah, so this is the perfect person to ask. So I get a lot of people that ask me in building their business sites, do I recommend whether or not they use pop-ups, right? And I feel like most of them ask due to not wanting to be annoying, pushy, intrusive, whatever the word is per the person. But what I ended up saying was that they shouldn't be afraid of pop-ups, because while the internet is still new, pop-ups are newer, right? Like pop-ups and ads weren't something that we needed to deal with when we first got online, right? You could go anywhere and it really just wasn't a thing. Now you have these algorithms, and they're just kind of taking over in a sense, right? You speak the word and it shows up on your computer. So in that sense, we were also discussing how you might not know what the questions are to ask a developer if you're vetting developers to do your work. But when you go online, you're not looking for any particular look or feel, right? When you go online, you're going to Google or whatever your engine is to ask a question, and you just want the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put that question in, you just hope whatever pops up on that first list is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
So when you get there, you're just hoping that it gives you the answer as fast as you want, because you really just want to get off and go do what you're doing, right? I feel like you can feel what high quality is, even if you don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
When you land on that page, if it's smooth, easy, and has this clean look, that's luxury, right?
Yeah.
How does Mint Media do that?
Well, you had a couple of questions in there.
I did.
And the best way to compare this is go outside and look at a Honda Accord
Sure.
parked next to a Mercedes S-Class.
Okay.
You know, the Mercedes S-Class is a luxury website.
Yes.
Honda Accord is the Wix website, Shopify, the regular website that the business owner built himself.
Okay.
Actually, it's more so like a 94 Civic is the
right.
website the business owner makes himself. You know, he appreciates it and loves it, and it gets him to point A to point B. But is anyone actually saying, dang?
Right, no.
But is he turning heads?
It's a little shaky.
He ain't turning
It's
heads.
a little shaky.
But at the forefront of this question is, you know, about pop-ups.
Yes. Yeah.
The fact that your friend is asking you about pop-ups proves that they work. What's top of his mind in that question? Pop-ups.
Right.
Why? Because he's seen them.
Yeah.
They
He
brought it.
expected.
Yeah. Well, it got his attention.
Yeah.
That's all a pop-up is supposed to do. It gets the people, you know, your viewers' attention. The way you can take it even further, and this is where marketing and conversion comes into play, is you provide a pop-up
Yeah.
given the user's journey or where they're at in their user journey. So if I'm looking up to buy a Mercedes,
Yes.
and I get a pop-up about leather seats,
Okay.
that doesn't really fit, right? But if I got a pop-up about how best to prepare to lease a Mercedes, that's on my user journey because I'm
Right.
looking for a Mercedes. Now I'm like, oh, I do want to learn how to lease a Mercedes.
Right.
Now I'm likely going to opt into that pop-up, become a part of your list. Let's
Yeah.
say this is a salesman for an auto dealer.
Right.
Then now I'm on his list,
Yeah.
and he can call me.
Okay.
And if it's set up right, he should call me in 5 minutes because I have just shown interest. Hey, I want to know how to lease. And then he could call me up and be like, hey, Matt, I saw you just wanted to learn how to lease. Let me answer any questions you might have. I actually have a Mercedes. I saw you were looking at, you know, the Mercedes C-Class. You were on that page. So we can actually deliver pop-ups based off what you're actually looking at or based on where you're at in the user journey. Because, you know, businesses usually have multiple products.
Yeah.
So if I'm on one product screen and I get a pop, like if you have one pop-up for your entire lineup of products,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. You should have a pop-up for a specific, you know, for the specific product you're looking at or blog post that you're looking at or, you know, whatever. It should emphasize what you're researching. And now
That's
I'm,
a nugget.
yeah,
That's a nugget.
and the benefit is I'm now in your web.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's you know the answer to that question, the original one.
Yeah.
What's the benefit of it?
Right.
I'm in your web.
Yeah.
You can now call me. I am now a prospect in your sales system that you could potentially sell a $50,000 car to $60,000 car and likely be able to upsell me to a $100,000 car if your salesman can do that.
Man, okay, that was a lot to chew on. That was a lot. Okay, so
You did have a second question though.
I did, but hold on, man.
Okay.
You gave me too much to chew on. So essentially, what you're saying is, you can see, maybe not see.
That's okay.
Hey, bro. We'll just cut that out. Hey, come here.
It's okay. We'll show kids in these. We got kids joining the office. That's all right.
Just blurs her face.
You show her face.
Okay, so you're saying that, and that maybe that's the difference, and maybe that's actually what I was saying without realizing I was saying it. When I land on these websites after I'm asking a question, like I said, I don't really care what it feels like. And in most cases, I expect, based on what I'm doing, to see a pop-up, right? Like if I'm going to a shop, Sportsman's, JCPenney, whatever, I expect within 15 seconds, it'll probably ask me to trade my email for 20% off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just see it coming. However, what I never thought of was based on where I'm at in my sales process, user journey, what have you, that this depicts the information that I get. And it makes sense. Like I said, algorithms, it makes sense. But
Well, what's funny is the coupon discount isn't a very good pop-up. It's a very lazy pop-up.
Right.
That's the one pop-up you push site-wide. Now imagine if I was looking at suits and then the pop-up was specific to get 3 shirts for 50% off. I mean, that's somewhat connected. It's somewhat connected, but they know I'm a dude.
Yes.
They know I'm searching for suits, so I would definitely want a fitted, tailored button-up shirt.
Right.
Or even better, get 3 suits for 20% off. Now it's tailored to my user journey. It's not just 20% off across the store. That's not that exciting.
Right.
Or maybe it's the guide to buying a suit.
Sure.
And now I get a PDF, and now their sales team can call me and say, hey, it looks like you need some help buying the suit. Do you have any questions? And now you can guide me as like a personal shopper.
Right.
The salesperson can guide me as a personal shopper to help me actually buy a suit.
Man, you sound like you've done this before.
Oh, many times.
All right. So maybe that's the thing that we just don't realize as somebody looking for a developer that will take me as serious as I take my business.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
and
totally.
That's what's so hard to find, especially if you don't know what to ask for.
Yeah, you don't know what to ask, and you don't know the detriment for which a developer can cause your business.
Right.
Because a developer has access to everything. I mean, if they operate at all unethically, that's a terrifying moment for a developer. That's a terrifying moment for a business owner.
Yes.
And when you hire an agency, at least a very upscale elite level agency, you know you're getting a business that's ethically run.
Right.
Yeah, that respects every single aspect of your business, whose goal is only to make your business more successful. And we would never hurt that business in any way.
Yeah, that's so awesome. That is awesome. I will spread that word with your permission, because that was really cool. I never really thought of it like that, and I don't think a lot of our users have, or listeners have either. But yeah.
Before we move on, I do want to touch on something else, because it's not just about where someone's at in the user journey for a pop-up.
Okay.
There's so much more to it. And sure, as a business owner, you could tomorrow implement a pop-up in your business, and you should.
Okay.
You should do that, because what you're doing is generating leads for your business, and you can act upon those leads.
Right.
So do it.
Right.
But when you hire an agency like ours, you can actually do so much more with those pop-ups.
Okay.
And so, it's like having a really fast car. A regular person driving it versus a race car driver. Who's going to drive it better?
Right.
Race car driver.
Sure.
And so...
Or he better. Or he better.
He better. Yeah, and so in agencies like the race car driver, they'll be able to utilize that pop-up on your website so much better, because they're going to understand the user journey, the goals for which you're trying to accomplish in your business, and do things like exit intent pop-ups. So when someone looks like they're about to leave the website, boom, pop-up. And then if it matches a user journey for where they're at, they're like, oh, I actually want to stay on the site and get whatever this thing is.
Yeah.
Or, sometimes you don't want, you don't want to annoy someone on the first time visit. That's what your buddy said.
Sure.
I'm kind of annoyed by it. I don't want to annoy people. Well, you can actually program them to launch on the second page visit. So if they're reading a blog post, they should have inline calls to action to get their lead. Or to get their email.
Sure.
But then if they go to another article, then a pop-up could show up there.
That's essentially what I was saying in way less detail. My point to him was when you're searching for something, you get online, you get to the page that you think you're looking for. If it's super easy to get to the information that you were looking for initially, and then if you find extra golden nuggets along your journey or during your stay at said website, then you appreciate that, right? If the look is subconsciously appealing, you want to stay longer, and if it loads fast, right?
Yeah.
You're not frustrated for your time spent there. So we don't realize what we feel is what I was getting at. And so since I didn't realize that these things could happen or were happening as I'm visiting certain websites, I felt like, man, that was a high functioning site. Like I got exactly what I wanted and then everything I needed.
And there's a lot of strategy that goes into that as well. I mean, now you're talking about a structure of a website. You can't just throw something up and assume that people are going to use it in the right way. So now you're talking about our design team, our UX and UI designers. They create the user experience and the user interface. Okay. And so, this answers the question of, well, I want to ensure that my visitors can get answers to their questions in the easiest way possible. And in order to do that, it really takes architecture, site architecture, to understand and create an easy to use website so that people can get answers to their questions easily. It's like we say user interface is like a bad joke. If you have to explain it, then it's bad. So a user interface should be good. One where you don't have to explain it, which is essentially one where someone can find the answers to their questions as fast as possible and as easily as possible. Right. And that takes a very certain set of skills. And now you're not talking about a business owner hiring just a developer off Fiverr or Upwork. Now they're having to hire a UX UI designer and potentially even a branding expert to make sure that the site is branded properly to your business. Now, with an elite agency like our own, you got all that.
Right.
One-stop shop.
So instead of adding cost on top of cost on top of cost,
and managing 3 people instead of 1,
I can have one bill, presumably saving money in the long run.
Oh,
especially
definitely.
Since it's getting done right.
Yeah. And with all this, you're going to undoubtedly raise the revenue in your business because conversion is going to go up, your cost is going to go down, and your stress level is going to go down. You're going to be able to focus on the things that drive your business while letting us and the product owner and the development team and the UI designers and UX designers focus on the things that you don't need to care about. You get to focus on growing your business.
That sounds like that's going to cost me a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. It costs money. But scared money don't make money.
That's so real. And
if you want to make a lot of money, you're going to have to spend money on your business. I mean, look at how the big people are doing it. Do you see Nike and Intel, Stripe, all these big companies that are pulling hundreds of millions, probably billions. Well, definitely billions.
Yes, at this point.
Yeah, billions. Are they skimping on their websites? No, their budget is insane.
And they had to start somewhere.
Exactly. Or even smaller businesses like REI or Columbia, these businesses, they're spending, I mean, their budget for websites is in the tens of hundreds of millions likely.
Okay. That is all true. But if I don't have that budget, can I work with Mint Media for, say, 10 grand?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we have packages for all levels.
Okay.
And we can definitely create something that's awesome for you at the 10 grand price point.
Are you as a business at a point where you are beyond doing like landing pages?
No.
Okay.
We offer landing pages.
Okay.
In fact, that's a great way to test us out and see, if you enjoy working with us, because it is a relationship both ways.
Sure.
We don't get married first. You date for a little bit. So date with the landing page, see how it actually converts your business and generates more revenue for you. It's going to generate leads. Yeah. Our landing pages work. And then you're going to be like, dang, I want more.
Well, be careful because I don't believe in divorce. That's awesome. So if I want to have a deeper conversation in what we've been talking about, where's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, you can see what we do at mintonmedia.com, or even better, you can reach our sales team.
And that number is 866-543-9988.
Hit the subscribe button so you can get the latest on all of our podcasts. No, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can get the latest updates and notifications when we post new podcasts every week.